So it's been said that Singapore is a boring country with no culture, it's not a clean city, the food is bad, expensive, and the locals are rude. These are just some of the contents posted on social media by tourists who have visited Singapore recently. But is it a case of a mismatch of expectations, or are there some truth to it? Let's find out in this video. Alright, hello everyone, welcome to my video. So I'm at Clarke Quay right now. The rain has stopped. A brief introduction. What you're seeing is the area of Clarke Quay. This is where people go in the evening to relax. There are bars, clubs and restaurants. Just right across us, bungee jump, it's called G-Max. And that is a very popular photo spot for tourists. It's actually the Old Hill Street police station, but now it's mainly made up of offices and a couple of retail stores on level 1. So I will take a walk down to Chinatown and then to Marina Bay area after that. Well, I haven't been going out for a very long time, even though I'm Singaporean. Spend a lot of time overseas, and even when I'm in Singapore, I actually spend most of my time at work. Of course, Singapore is constantly changing in terms of new development, redevelopment, and turnover of business, shops and attractions. So let's see if I miss out on anything during the past few years. Okay, arrived at Chinatown. Just want to introduce to you one of my favorite restaurants. I'm glad to see that it's still around after all these years. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it's open 24 hours I think. But I know it's pretty late. We will begin at Pagoda Street, which is the more touristy side of Chinatown. Over here we can find a lot of souvenir stores, F&B outlets, and a few historical landmarks as well. First thing I noticed are the blooming numbers of stores selling souvenirs of Singapore, which I don't remember seeing so many of it the last time I was there. So I suppose it means that the number of tourism has risen, and that's good news for the economy. And then there's the Mi Xue brand ice cream, which is expanding rapidly. Chinatown is a significant part of Singapore's history, as well as for its tourism. It's where you can experience the local Chinese culture and architecture of ancient Singapore, which is not all about modern shopping malls here. The peak period, of course, will be the weeks building up to Chinese New Year, which is around Jan or Feb every year. There would be usually a makeshift night market selling Chinese New Year snacks and other related items as well. You can expect to experience a unique atmosphere there, with many people shopping for their Chinese New Year preparations. But however, whichever period that you choose to travel to Singapore, nonetheless, Chinatown is a must-have on your bucket list and a must-go on your itinerary. And then of course, there's the king of fruits, durian, if you're game enough to try it. So why not, since you're in Singapore? They Then we have more souvenirs. This is the Malayan, one of the symbol of Singapore. Panda as well. I'm not sure where the panda comes into the picture.
Public service announcement.
So many tourists have criticized the price of basic beverages like drinking water and soft drinks in Singapore. Things like water is more expensive than a bag of chips or chocolate, right? Yes, it is true if you purchase it from that famous convenience store, which most of us locals do not go to. Instead, you might want to look out for this kind of shops or kiosks selling drinks. Right, we move on to more traditional Chinese ornaments there, not the Pikachu. Dragon heads, commonly seen during the Chinese New Year, lanterns, and more gelato ice cream. Now this painting here represents a history of ancient Singapore. It's an artwork by Mr. Ip Yu Chong. It basically depicts how the early migrant workers in Singapore engaging a letter writer to write letter on their behalves, as most of them were illiterate and mobile phone or internet were not available back then. Alright, I'm actually just right in front of the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple. This is a very popular tourist spot as well. But that's not my destination that I want to go. Where I want to go now is to have dinner. So right behind me is Chinatown Complex. This is the largest hawker center in Singapore. And I will just show you how it looks like and what's available for dinner. This hawker center is one of the oldest in Singapore, and over here you can expect to find a lot of varieties available and local prices, alright? Now, most of the vendors are Singaporeans, and this being said, it's a local favorite hawker center, so you can expect to taste authentic Singapore delicacy here. Best time to come is before 8 PM, before most of the stores are closed for business. I'm going to have chicken rice today. 哎，老板，我要鸡胸饭吃的。烧鸡，thank you。Okay, so I got my plate of chicken rice. So good. Okay, I got my coffee, and in my opinion, right, trust me, this $1.20 coffee is so much better than the $7-8 coffee you're gonna buy in most cafe like. And that's it for the touristy area of Chinatown. I'm not going to the other half of Chinatown because in my opinion, there's nothing much interesting over there. So the next area we'll be heading to is Blue Club Street and then the Central Business District of Singapore before we walk over to the Marina Bay area. street is home to a number of cocktail bars and fine dining restaurants. Nearby similarities are Amoy Street and Telok Ayer Street, which are all within walking distances. So this area used to be one of my favorite hangouts after work, and this place caters more to the people who are working in the area, both local and expats, and even tourists as well. In my opinion, it is a little bit similar to the Lang Kwai Fong of Hong Kong, as well as the Thong Lo of Bangkok. This is Club Street of Singapore for you. And this is the Central Business District financial hub of Singapore, similar to Wall Street in America, if you would put it this way. There are a couple of new buildings here, modern skyscrapers. So yeah, Singapore is rapidly changing. And next on, we've arrived at the Singapore River, probably the most important place in the history of Singapore decades ago. But for me, it's a place to take a walk and relax when I was younger. Nothing has changed over here, in my opinion. Still very beautiful though. Right, these are the early migrant coolie workers. 20 years ago, I tried to convince them to move, but it seems like they're very stubborn. And next up, we'll be going to the One Fullerton, where the Merlion is, by the basement of the Fullerton Hotel, which not many people know, unfortunately. So if you don't, follow me on this not so secret path. Let's go. Alright, you've probably seen all over social media where tourists took photo of the Marina Bay Sands in full glory, right? Well, here we are then. Anyway, there's a Starbucks and restaurants that have outdoor sitting areas here, so you can eat or drink with a view. A unique experience to get around the Singapore River is by the river cruise. I think it takes you to Marina Bay Sands and Clarke Quay as well. Yes, that's right. Notice the building that looks like a huge durian. And interestingly, it's not just one durian, but two of them, which I will tell you more in a while. So this building is known as Esplanade Theatre on the Bay. According to their website, it's a place known for performing arts center and musical events and performance. One durian houses a concert hall and the other one for performing arts. There are many free events ongoing every week and you can find musical and arts related retail shops here as well. Meanwhile, please enjoy a short clip of a live performance. With that, we've come to the end of the video, and here are my final thoughts without being biased or anything like that. I guess it really boils down to one's expectations, and like if you're traveling for the first time to a country, would it be better if you did some research and planning based on what kind of traveler you are and activities that you prefer? There are plenty of activities in Singapore. If it suits you, good. If not, yeah, it can be boring. Culture-wise, Singapore is a multiracial country, lots of different culture. It's either you vibe or you don't. In terms of food, please, don't even get me started. In which part of the world can you get so many international cuisine options at an affordable price? You just have to go to the right place. Well, in terms of expenses, I guess it depends on individual. Some find it affordable, some find it expensive. Over the past few years, prices have increased significantly in Singapore, but so have other countries globally as well, right? There is the good and bad side in visiting every country. It all depends on your expectations. Before I end my video, I just want to say that it is a blessing to be able to travel around and a privilege denied to many people.